I'm gonna put you on something right now.
See that right there?
You see that right there? Reading. Let's talk about reading. Hey YouTube, how's it going? My name is Ninth Hunt. This year, if you're like me, you have a New Year's resolution to read more. Back then, I still enjoyed reading. Probably like a lot of you back in elementary school, we had like book fairs or library days where we got to check out our own books. I used to beg my dad to get me some new books, and it was usually like a Skylanders Collector's Edition type book. Origami Yoda, oh my god. If you guys have seen Origami Yoda, let me know in the comments. That book series is so peak, man. I think I still have those books, honestly. Hold on, let me go check. Yes, dude. These were all books I was reading from when I was a kid. I don't know if I'm getting them all in the shot. Of course, I had all of the Minecraft special essential handbook guides and the GOAT Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I only had old school. I didn't really buy any others. I just checked them out from the library. These are all books that I bought from like the book fair when I was actually interested in reading. You know, I feel like the school system kind of makes us start hating reading very early on. You know, I used to have like these planner checks that would, because the reading or writing teacher would assign us, oh my god, reading or writing teacher would assign us a specific number of pages to get to over for homework, and that already started a very unhealthy relationship with reading. It wasn't fun. I felt very obligated to do so, and I hated it. But yeah, the assignments, the boring books that they would assign us back in elementary, even in middle school, continued on to middle school, and would even continue on to high school, would actually get worse because you'd have to do even bigger analyses on these books that you just found zero interest in whatsoever. But yeah, I hated reading for a very long time. It felt like a very obligatory thing that you just had to do because of school. Now, this is where things get fun. Like 19 years later, I'm gonna tag this puppy in. Everything changed once I picked this sucker up. BERSERK by Kintaro. Now, this changed everything. I got the first deluxe volume, Christmas of 2023. I got the first volume of this. And it took me a while to actually get to reading it because I still didn't like reading for a very long time. But I think it was towards the end of 2024, I got very invested in this story. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I recommend it with a fair warning that it's dark, bro. It is very scarring. But I think it was when I got into this, I just you know what, I'm going to make this a habit to read, every night, read 10 pages or something. I think that's what set the habit in motion, and it made it so I made this as an actual hobby. I started to enjoy it. I just made sure I had to force myself in the beginning to read more. But man, I've had a really good time with it. As good a time as you can have when reading BERSERK, I guess. I'm telling you, you just gotta read it for yourselves. I'd wait till you're at least 18. But then again, I don't think anybody's ever ready to read BERSERK. PTSD. BERSERK got me into reading. And so I know a lot of you is about to be like, well, it's not really reading. Manga isn't manga's it's almost like watching anime. It's just a little more involved. It's not like actual reading a full chapter book. It's not. Once I got more and more into it, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give other genres a chance. I'm buying a lot of books just for me to have on my shelf. I saw a quote somewhere that it's better to have a library of unread books than not. So I guess it's better to just keep spending my money. And I have proof, bro. Tao Te Ching. Yes. I'm into philosophy, and I have none other to thank but Mr. Felix Kjelberg himself. Yes, PewDiePie. I joined his 2025 reading list club, and he put together this whole list of philosophy books, and it's like goes from what Tao Te Ching was January. This month is going to be In the Buddha's Words, which I already have, by the way. And then the third book, or March, I think. Yeah, March is like you get to pick your own book, your own interest. But it should be like a reading that can like span throughout the whole month. So far, I've been liking it. I've always really enjoyed philosophy. And that's what I want to get next in this video, which I think the core message is. The reason why I enjoy reading is because I enjoy the topics. I feel like when people say that they don't enjoy reading or they don't like to read, I think it's because they're not interested in the topics, lesser than actual reading. I've noticed that whenever I don't read something or don't want to read something, it's because I'm not interested in the topic. If you were interested in the topic, you'd still read it. It's actually the same thing as watching TV. Are you going to watch something that you find, look, me personally, I don't find sports that entertaining. I would never sit down and watch sports. Much like I would not read a book about sports. But a story about a lone swordsman that loses everything and has to find his own way, and against the struggles of life, he continues to move forward. I find that, like, I would watch that and I would read that. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing, like consuming content. It's the same in books. But I beg to differ that reading is actually a lot more beneficial than just passively watching. You know, I don't know, I might get a lot of heat from this, but I annotate my books. Not Berserk. I don't touch... Hey, let me talk. Look, I don't annotate Berserk. Like, that's crazy. Why would you do that? But I'm talking like nonfiction books where you're trying to learn something. Like, that's why I talked about philosophy in this video. I annotate in these books because I can learn from them. I can go back and reread different sections, and this isn't that deep of a video. Main takeaway, just find something you're interested in. Like, reading is reading. Like, if you're interested in like comic book characters, go read comics. If you love anime, chances are you're gonna love manga. It's just science, man. It's just science. And if you're someone like me who loves like philosophy videos and finds himself watching them all the time, and yeah, you're gonna find a lot of philosophical books. If you're a person that is interested in something, there's a high likelihood that there's a book about it. So I encourage you to give reading a shot. You might not like it at first, but you might not also find the right book. I'm all very new to this, so if I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, I probably don't. But I think I also have the authority to recommend you guys to read. Reading has been a very interesting hobby to get into. It's been fun. It's been a good time. I can't say all the time. I mean, referencing Berserk, it's not always a fun time. I'm gonna just say that. A lot of the time, it's not a very fun time. If you guys want me to talk more about Berserk, like a spoiler video, I don't really want to talk about Berserk yet because I haven't finished the story or caught up. Then again, I have a long way to go. So maybe I'll just do like the Golden Age arc or something. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on that, hit the thumbs up. Comment below you want to hear from me. I almost want to reread some of the books that my old high school teacher recommended or had us analyze. And I want to see if the idea that, you know, me actually wanting to read it will change how I perceive the book. Because back then I didn't want to read it because I was being forced to read it. I think that's just like a common thing. That's another discussion in the comments. Do you guys think that when you're feeling obligated to read something, you just don't want to read it, even if the topic interests you. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I think that's what I've been dealing with all my life. But yeah, guys, you made it this far. Thanks for sticking to the end. Like this, be sure. Done this outro so many times. If you guys stuck this far to the end, thank you so much. Don't be. If you guys made it this far to this end of this video, like this video if you liked it. I always appreciate it. You guys are great. And also, don't forget to subscribe.